What is going on, shrimp cuers? This is Rob with flipaquatics.com, and today I finally have time to make you all a video, and I'm super excited about it. I've been wanting to show you all the changes here at Flip Aquatics, so today we are going to focus in on just that. I'm going to show you guys the new Caridina rack and show you kind of the new water change system we came up with, how it's working, show you the shrimp that we currently have in stock, and just give you an update of what's been going on here at Flip Aquatics. I miss you guys, and I'm so excited to jump in to today's video. I can't even talk. So let's get right into it. First things first, the gallery is coming along just super duper slow. We have been so busy doing just crazy stuff. I don't know if you guys know this, but I recently had a baby. Super excited about that. If I have a video of her, I will put that in right now. But if I don't, you're still here, so we'll just carry on. But anyway, this is the gallery. We have big plans for this room. It is coming slowly, but it is coming along. You can see over here, we actually have, these are 10-gallon tanks from our old Caridina room that were breeding tanks. So we have the shrimp still in them. They're running temporary right now. We actually have all these new tanks that don't have lights on. These ones are all currently cycling. Alex set those up about 2 to 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. And so this week or next week, whenever we have time, we are actually gonna move these shrimp down to these tanks, get rid of all these ones and add more of these Shrimp King tanks. These are just amazing tanks. They're complete setup. They come with the light, the filter, all that. Not a sales pitch, but I absolutely love them. And this is why I chose them for the gallery. I mean, they have a glass curved edge. Like, how freaking cool is that? So, a lot of fun. These tanks are a little rough just due to pure neglect on my behalf. These are Super Princess bees. Like I said, I have just been so busy with the baby and all kinds of stuff like that, that I haven't been able to really focus in on these guys. Some tanks don't have shrimp. This one, look at this guy. Camera focus isn't the greatest, but that's okay. You kind of see. We did different botanicals. This is something cool to know. That's dwarf hairgrass growing without CO2, just in a low-tech setup, big time, because we're not fertilizing these tanks or anything. And then we have a couple other tanks. This one is the one that got rough. So this one needs like a good cleaning and completely reset. Not completely reset, but just a good cleaning. This one, this stuff just floated like crazy, so we need to rearrange that. We got some orange-eyed blue tigers in there. This one, the plants we haven't been dosing with first, like I said, so they're just hanging on. And then this tank's got Java fern, that stuff is indestructible. So it's going good. But yeah, so this is kind of our setup for now. A lot more to come with this, and really excited to get the rare shrimp collectors, which is part of our membership, to get them involved in this and really do some fun things in this room. And it's just gonna be a lot of fun. So let's head downstairs and show you guys what we have going on down there. So this rack is now currently in our basement. It used to be in the other building. And this is the new rack. It's 90 tanks. There's Alex working right now. She hates being on camera, so I'll try to keep her off camera. But this is our new rack system, 90 tanks, and just a really cool thing. We used to have a conveyor belt that went all the way down here. You can see on the floor where it went to. We got rid of that. We weren't utilizing it enough to really have it, and it came with the building. And so we got rid of that so we have walking space, and we could extend this rack to fit all tanks and also fit a packing station and a sanitization station. And so really cool stuff. So excited to show you guys that. But let's first focus in on this water change system, because this is something that I think a lot of you can take something from and implement it in your current fish rack or system if you have a bigger system. So we have city water here at Flip Aquatics, and we do utilize it. But the big thing with city water is you have to have really good filtration. Same thing with well water, but well water is probably a little bit more predictable. City water kind of changes throughout the year, which I guess all water does. But we needed a good system to guarantee that our water is safe for our fish and shrimp and snails and plants. So we have 2 huge carbon towers. One takes out the chlorine in the water and the other one takes out the ammonia. They all pass through a sediment filter. And then from there, they actually pass over to an RO system, which not all of our water passes over, but our RO system has another sediment filter, 2 carbon towers, 2 DI units, and a RO membrane. So this is the booster pump that kind of makes it all happen. But that's kind of what happens for our Caridina shrimp. It passes through all those systems and it comes over here on this red line and goes right into our tank. So you can see it's running right now. Not a huge flow, but in the cold, with it being so cold, the water comes in at like, I don't know, 35, 40 degrees. It just passes through the RO membrane so slow. And so it comes over. We have 6 of these 275 gallon totes. One of the totes we keep for RO water only, which you can see right here. And all of these totes are linked below with PVC pipe. I think this is 1.5 inches. And we can turn on whichever tote we're using. So if some of the totes are filling and other ones are already remineralized, we can kind of adjust those based on that. And then all these totes flow into a drain if we need it, but also flow into our pressure pump. Now that's our baby. This thing is magical. It's done us a world of good. Instead of plugging pumps in all the time, you just have a constant pressure pump that holds the line at a certain pressure. And so that comes up and one line feeds over to our Caridina rack. The other line actually feeds up here, and I'll show you what that's for. So for all of you that use RO water and remineralize it with powder, we use SaltyShrimp GH+. You put it in there and then it takes forever to dissolve. We actually used to use like big PVC pipe and mix it around and hopefully it dissolved pretty good. But now we can just turn on this and you can see that moved, and then look at the back. It just pushes flow in there. And so that really stirs up the water, mixes it. And all that's doing is it's taking water from here, it's coming up, it's coming over, and then it's putting back through there. So literally it's just turning the system over. And all you have to do is turn this off, and the pressure pump will get back up to the pressure we have it set to, and then the pressure pump actually kicks off. So there's no plugging in at all, which is super nice. And so for our water changes, pressure line for the SaltyShrimp GH+ remineralized water, I know it's a mouthful, comes over here, and then it comes to our manifold on both sides of the tank. And so to turn our manifold on, we have this baby right there. Turn that on, and then each rack or each row has its own setting. And so we're going to turn on the middle row, and then if we come over here, we can actually do a water change right now. We just turn this on to a nice little trickle. We'll let that run, and then it flows in on that side, and then it flows out on the opposite side behind the mat filter so no shrimp can get sucked down in. Goes down into here. That's our drain line. Drain line comes all the way around to right there. You can see it. You can see it over there and over to our septic pump. From our septic pump, it pumps up and then into our drain line, which is right there. So that's our water change system. So all you have to do is turn this back off. It's off, no plugging any pumps in. Turn this off for safety and turn this off for safety. And we put those in for safety measures, simply in case somebody left a tank on by accident. Instead of it flowing into the tank all night, we can know that it's off right here. And so that's what we have going on for this rack. I'm going to take you through and we are going to look at these tanks and show you some of these awesome tanks. This one, just real quick, I got to give a shout out to our employees. All of our employees got a chance to scape tanks and put in there what they want. And so Alex, who you saw earlier, scaped this tank. She's got some mixed Caridina in there. She's got some some fish that obviously we can't sell this fish. This is I think it's a white cloud mountain minnow. Yep. And it's got a crooked spine. And so she likes adopting those type of animals. And so they all go in here, ones that she wants, other ones we have a adoption village. And yeah, so it's really cool. A lot of cool stuff. And it's a lot of fun. And the real name isn't adoption village. It is definitely retirement village. But I haven't done a video in forever, so please forgive me. I'm gonna say a few things wrong. So let's get right into One thing I wanted to mention before we get much farther in the video is I wanna give you guys an opportunity to come see me at Aquashella coming up later this month. I think it's February 23rd-ish, something like that, 26th, I don't know. Check out aquashella.com, find all the details, but I'll be there along with some other amazing creators. Brett Raymer from the hit TV show Tanked. If you're into Tanked, I was a huge fan, and so Brett's gonna be there, and just a lot of really awesome people. And so I'll be excited to hang out with them, see those of you that are able to come, and get to talk with you guys, bond, hang out, have a good time. So we'll see you there in a short couple weeks, and let's get right back into the video. So I kind of want to just walk you through this whole rack. This is 90 tanks. It's 3 rows on each side. We have one station, which is kind of like, we got our medicine. If we're treating for any kind of medicine, not just medicine, I just said it because it's right there. But if we're treating for anything, we put it on the board, and we know this rack kind of is being treated, this tank, so on and so forth. And so it kind of keeps everyone in the same, the same page. We got all of our bag labels. And so this is where we do like all of our bagging. Now, Alex is our main person for the Caridina. So she actually has a little tank over here. There's a beta in here, and his name's Frankie. He's actually hiding. I know the reflection is just awful, but he's hiding back there between the 2 rocks. She called him Frankie because he's like Frankenstein. He's got so many issues. Like, he has a huge growth on his head. We've treated him so many times, and the poor guy just never gets better. So she's actually currently treating him right now. She has food in there. So she just loves anything that's different. And so she's just got such a sweetheart, takes care of things. And so she's set up this little tank for him, which I think is really cool. So this is kind of her domain. And then we have another kind of station over here, which is, it's got our sink on it so we can sanitize all of our equipment. It's got all of our nets. She's got catch cups over here, our deli cups, so we know like the appropriate amount of water to bag. She's got a little thing of substrate. And so it's really cool. So this system really works well for us. We actually put these in the center of the rack. We alternated them so that one person can be working here while another person is working over here, and then so on and so forth. And then we kind of situated best-selling shrimp towards the middle, least best-selling shrimp towards the outsides. And then I just have to show this because this is one of my favorite things. As you're walking down here, you just see our propagation rack, which is a lot of fun. This is something that Brandon has really been taking care of. And this is where we propagate just a ton of our plants, like our cherry leaf. We got Rotala indica, or Rotala walichi, Rotala indica. Down there, Ludwigia repens. We got some unique plants up here. We got our wisteria there. Wisteria is such a bad transitioner, so it's just easier for us to grow it. And then we sell a ton of water sprites, so that's there. We got some Val torta, which is really hard to get, so we propagate that. And just some really cool stuff. So this rack's always a lot of fun. We won't spend any time on that other than what we already did. And let's jump back into talking about the Caridina rack. So since we're on the far side of the rack, we might as well just start over there. First, anything with the yellow sticky note is things that we have coming in on a future import order. It's actually arriving this week on Thursday. And so each sticky note kind of lays out like, hey, 4 bags of 50, 200 shrimp going in here. YKK is Yellow King Kong. And then Q stands for in quarantine because we hold all of our shrimp for 30 days. So they kind of have a really good system for that. Any ones that don't have a sticker on them or don't have a Q are ones that are currently selling. This whole side of the rack doesn't have any lighting just because I'm the electrician and I'm busy. And so they kind of get what they get, which is terrible, but it's absolutely the truth. I do the best I can. And so the other side has lights, so they have to turn on the other side to get both sides. But these are, they call them bee bamboos, but this is actually Caridina trifasciata. I'm pretty sure it's a wild species. You kind of get a bunch of different variants in there. Just some really cool shrimp. And so down here we got pure black line. Across we have kind of our galaxy shrimp, because I told you like the farther you get away from the middle is the slowest sellers. And so these ones we don't sell a ton of because they're so expensive, but we do have them. And just, I mean, we got some really, really nice ones. Like look at that one with the blue in it. You know, once they get to like breeding age and they start actually breeding, most of the time we'll put them in a breeding tank or we'll just let them breed in here. But you can see right there, we actually have some babies in here. And so that just shows you like how good a care our livestock does here, our livestock team does here, because these guys just do really, really well for us. And then we got, you know, some more down here. This is actually black pintos. So the cool thing is when we sell black pintos, we actually sell the Galaxy as part of it. And so there's just, again, some really pretty ones in here. Shadow Misuras. This is something that, you know, we sell a decent amount of. And we actually pull these from our blue bolts. They come in with our blue bolts sometimes. And so we'll have to, you know, kind of, you know, call our shrimp and put them in different tanks and organize them. And, you know, just part of the process. And that's another reason why we hold our shrimp for 30 days is we really want to know, like, you know, what we have and how it's doing and make sure we're selling the right thing. Because not always do we get the right shrimp that we order. And so this is just focusing on the glass, but those are the red galaxies. Let's see. These are the red galaxies, just a pretty shrimp. We don't have a ton of these. We don't sell as many as the blacks, even though I think the reds are beautiful. They're just, I don't know, preference, I guess. Look at this guy. This guy is beautiful right there. Again, focusing on the glass and not the shrimp. Darn it. Should have cleaned all the tanks beforehand. But anyway, yeah, so just tons and tons of tanks right here. Again, new. We're going to be getting new in there, so I don't know what they're going to do with all these guys. Should probably ask them about it, but these are just our regular Black King Kong mix. We got a whole tank of extreme Black King Kongs. They look really good on the brown. This is Rio Oscuro from Brightwell. There we go. I got a new phone, so I need to figure out the focus on it too. Another full tank of Black King Kongs. These guys are just beautiful. And these guys we've actually had for about 3 months at this point, maybe 4 months. So these guys are like, you know, grown up. We've had them for a long time. They're getting real close to breeding age. And so sometimes you'll get some really, really old, ready, or not really, really old, but really nice shrimp that are ready to breed for your tank when ordering from us, just depending on, you know, when you catch us in the import cycle. But these guys are just stunning. Same thing over here. We got the red pintos. These guys, again, are just looking really good. You can see a lot of variations. You got the zebra stripes in there, the spotted heads, all kinds. So just beautiful, beautiful shrimp. Same thing up here, some more red pintos. These guys are one of my absolute favorites. Deep blue bolts. I mean, just how can you not just love this shrimp? I mean, let me try to get a good focus. Like, that is just a stunning shrimp. Like, oh, I just love blue. I just love it. So, one of my favorite shrimp by far. I wish I had a whole tank of these again. As soon as I get the 480 set back up, I'm going to be pumped about that. On this side, we just missed like some tangerine tigers. Actually, red fancy tigers. This is a really good tank to show off because our red fancy tigers, I feel like, are extremely nice. This is just kind of a mixed grade tank. I mean, there's some nicer ones in there. Like, just beautiful. Let's see if there's any more. We got tangerine tigers. Like, that's all tangerine tigers. What do we got down here? Oh, black fancy tigers. So this will be a nice one to show off too. These ones are a little bit more hit or miss. The reds are super nice. I mean, the blacks are still nice, but not as nice. And the blacks are actually more expensive, I think, because they're harder to get the color out of them. But like this one over there that's kind of walking to the right, and even the one that's behind it right there, if it will focus, just beautiful shrimp. So I love the black fancy tigers. Aw, looks like that one just died. Or maybe is trying to molt. But yeah, so just some awesome shrimp, some pure red line down there. And then as we move down, like I said, these are all kind of tangerine tigers. So here's a whole tank of them. These are actually USA bred. We actually buy these from a breeder in the United States and then resell them here. And so these guys are usually much smaller. But again, you know, USA bred versus imported, you know what you're getting. And so so some people like these better than the imported. So very cool shrimp. And then we got more blue bolts over here. These are the mostly blue. I can't turn on the light for these ones because we're trying to figure out like what's going on with the lighting. We keep having the breaker trip, and it's because we have a bad light, so we're trying to pinpoint where the light is. But these guys are mostly blue, although most of them are pretty deep blue in my opinion. And so again, I'm a sucker for blue bolts all day. I don't know if we have any of the regular blue bolts left, maybe up here. So this is kind of an idea of what our regular blue bolts look like. Let me try to get a good focus on this. I don't think it's gonna happen. Samsung Galaxies. Ah, there we go. That looks pretty crystal clear right there. And so this is what a normal blue bolt would look like as far as our grading goes. And so again, just really, really pretty shrimp. Like, look at that. I love it. And then down here we got some red King Kongs. And then we're back to Alex's tank right there, which again, huge shout out to Alex for this tank. Kind of the misfit tank with a bunch of different shrimp. And it's surprising. These guys are just breeding really good. So this is kind of like a misfit, miscellaneous, assorted Caridina, and then her funky white cloud. And then on the other side, we have golden bees, which I'm pretty sure we're sold out of. Oh no, here's some golden bees down here. Just golden bees. These aren't anything special, but they're really good beginner shrimp, especially if you want to cross. And you can see there's actually some blue bolts in there. So again, like, this is another reason why we hold them for 30 days, because sometimes you just don't know what you get. And so we have to go through and manually sort and call, stuff like that. And then we missed the crystals, but we have some really pretty crystals. These ones aren't even up on the website yet. We ordered SS and SSS grade, which you can see they're just a better pattern, more white versus red. And so we got those to try them out, and we'll get those up on the site soonish, hopefully. Again, it all depends on timing. But yeah, so just more of that, but that's our Caridina rack. I mean, I could go through and show you every individual tank, but it's a lot of the same. It's 90 tanks, it's a lot of tanks, so I'm sure you guys don't want to do that. But if you do, let me know down in the comments, and I can do another video on this. Well, shrimp keepers, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little update, but it was an update, and I hope to bring you more of these. We're kind of falling into a pattern here at Flip Aquatics. We got a lot of team members stepping up. Tyler as the manager really stepping up. So a lot of good things going on here. I hope you guys are just making it a great week. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being here after so long. Love you guys, appreciate you guys. You guys make it a great week. And as always, God bless. And we'll catch you on the flip side.